partnership with Leicester Riders, and I was brought in mainly to deliver outstanding education. So that's both upgrading the way that we develop dies and the way that we deliver dies, but at the same time bringing our own performance framework into the programme and helping develop our athletes as holistically as possible. So our philosophy is all about high performance being a lifestyle choice, so it is all the decisions that you make on court and off court that really impact the development of young people.
For us here at Charmwood Riders, not only does it tie in our on-court stuff with our off-court stuff, but it also helps us reinforce and apply things that they're working on off-court and things that we are trying to reinforce and apply on-court as basketball staff also.
Working with Rob provides a very safe space to talk about on-court but also off-court stuff that happens throughout the terms and years.
Last year working with Rob, I had a lot of individual one-on-one talks with him, and it was a good opportunity for me to just have a pause. And since I've got such a busy life here at the academy, I had an opportunity to speak about how I felt and my feelings.
Rob's a great asset to our team. We as a programme are looking to develop more than just basketball players. We're looking to develop young people into adults and set them up for life.
Yeah, I feel like the sessions are very active. Like, they get everyone going, they make sure everyone's locked in, and we always apply the sessions into on-court stuff, or off-court if it needs to be off-court. But I feel like everyone's engaged and everyone's listening in.
I like to bring to the athletes, especially between the ages of 16 to 19, is perspective. A lot of them get so narrow-minded in terms of their thinking because they've got a lot of expectations on themselves. They feel a lot of expectation from others, which brings around that tension and stress. And what we want to do is try and relieve some of that pressure, stress, expectation through giving them new perspectives. And in addition to that, obviously bringing them new thinking skills that allows them to really flourish as a person, not just as a basketball player.
Working with Rob has been really great, helping me control my mind during intense moments, even evolving my game, just helping me teach other players without getting angry, or help others control their minds even though when they're down, and respecting other people's perspective.
I feel like I struggle with anxiety, and I feel like they've really helped me find techniques to solve them, breathing techniques. I've used them a lot, and it helps me calm me down a bit, makes me focus on the game more, or whatever I'm doing, schoolwork, whatever.
The DICE programme supports with both on-court and off-court stuff. Yes, absolutely, there's elements of that tactical and technical knowledge and development, but also it's the off-court stuff such as nutrition, the importance of sleep, managing their time, and other aspects.
So through Everymind Performance, our framework starts with tackling their core. So we look at their identity, their sense of purpose and their sense of control over their life, and how that influences their emotionality and focus, because at the end of the day we need to get them to understand whatever they focus on they bring energy to. So if that's constantly looking at all the negatives and the way that they are missing shots and etc., what we want them to do is not disregard that, but highlight all of their strengths as well as the things that they are striving to achieve. So getting them to understand their emotional intelligence and really getting them to understand what they focus on is where they bring their energy. And then on the outer part of our framework, we look at thinking skills, so mental resilience, just how they think about things. So we look at red-blue thinking, which is ultimately about neutral thinking. So taking the emotionality out of situations and just looking at accepting the facts and then deciding what to do from there. We look at their time management, and we use time as energy that they spend each day. So how do they utilise their time? How do they spend their time? And getting them to look at what's important in terms of spending their time. So are they distracted? Are they making traction? Are they resting and recovering properly? The third part is looking at relationships, which is what we're spending most of our time in half term 2 looking at. So what is an effective relationship? How do relationships affect the way they behave, their choices, their decision making? What's important on court as well as off court? and how do their relationships affect their moods and their state of mind. And then the final part is then their overall health. So it's not just their physical health that we challenge them to think about, it's their financial health, their social health, their emotional health, their mental health. So it's bigger than just physical and mental health, which is what I see a lot of discussions going on with the young people is mainly focused on. But if we can get them to separate that into their social, emotional health as well, that's where we start to see people really thrive.
I'd say working with Rob, it's helped me find who I am. Like, he's worked with everyone, challenging their thoughts and beliefs, making them a better person. As a result of that, everyone sees these different perspectives of life. It's changed how people like treat each other on court, the way people interact with each other, like just general respect towards one another.
On the team, I think it just creates like a bond, like a brotherly bond, like knowing that we can all speak to each other, we all have the same goal, and we all have the same understanding of the situation. I feel like it really helps us in going for our goals.
The way we're all addressed as a programme, and like every half term we're kind of given like you know, we'll do this together, like a feeling of togetherness. I feel like that's very good for creating like a family environment.
So our main aim is to optimise performance, and to do that we have to work with everybody within the programme. So that's right from the top, the managing director, all the way through to the head coaches, the assistant coaches, Tara at Field House, and the way that she supports them with her own philosophy of life and how she can really optimise that environment to help them to navigate just the pressures that they have to deal with at home as well.
All the theory we've learnt with Rob in DICE, it's really benefited like me as an individual. It's made me more confident. Anytime like I felt down after a game, like he's taught me through it, like made me look at the bigger picture.
So one of the main aspects of me coming in and working with Leicester Riders and the Academy is to support the dual career pathway. So getting the students to understand that their basketball career, whether it be a short or a long-term one, has a ceiling. So what are they doing to make sure that they are going to be a successful person whilst they're playing and afterwards as well. The other main purpose of Everymind Performance working with Leicester Riders is for us to challenge how we utilise the support network. So making sure that we are tying together as coaching staff, as S&C, medical support, with the accommodation staff. But one thing we're introducing this year is a parent workshop, which will be taking place, the first one in this second half term of the year. And it's getting parents to understand their roles and responsibilities and actually how they can support in their roles, especially as the majority of our athletes are in accommodation, so they don't have that contact time every day with their parents, but their parents are still so influential and can be so supportive. But it's making sure that we understand all of our roles and responsibilities within that.
One piece of advice I'd give to a newcomer to the programme is really give 100% to these DICE sessions and to Rob, because when the time comes, the stuff he's teaching you, maybe it's not relevant at the time, but eventually there'll be a situation where you need it and you'll be able to apply it.
My advice would be always work hard regardless. I feel like everyone can respect a hard-working person, and also know your whys. Like, I feel like if you know your whys and why you're doing certain things, like why you're playing the sport, it will make everything more easy for you. And just give 100% in what you do, because in a DICE program, I feel like it's a thing where it's like you get what you give. So if you give 100%, you're gonna get the most out of it.
My biggest piece of advice would be, you know, come into the program looking to develop as a person rather than just a basketball player. You know, the sad reality is that basketball isn't going to be what you do for your whole life. You know, unfortunately there's a limit on it. But hopefully coming to our program, we develop more than just your basketball skills that will set you up in life to be successful no matter what you do.